our guest for today's episode is Malkit.
Hey,
hello.
Welcome guys.
So Malkit is also the founder of Savoy's Club. What is the name of this town? How far is it from London?
So this is Chalfont St Peters. It's in Buckinghamshire.
Is it a good area for the business you want to run here?
Yeah, so it's actually quite a thriving little town.
Right.
As you see, like anything that's over 2 stories, we need to put in basically a fire alarm system. Typically with these are just units which have 30 minutes of light power when the mains fail.
What was the purchase price of entire building?
So this was purchased £465,000.
Right.
On average, these rooms will rent for £850 per calendar month, which is £61,200.
So per annum, the whole unit will give you 77,200. Is there like any books you would like to recommend for the viewers?
A lot of this property stuff is also mindset, in my opinion. I actually quite like the book Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter by Curtis 50 Cent Jackson. Actually really helped me focus on what values that I should be looking at and how I should be streamlining my business. And there's obviously with Darwood's YouTube channel, there's lots of free resources that are out there that can actually help you in your property journey.
Welcome everyone in our new episode where we talk about the property market in the UK, all the pros and cons, and today we'll have very interesting subject which is conversion commercial to residential, and our guest for today's episode is Malkit.
Hey,
hello.
Welcome guys, come in.
So Malkit is also the founder of Savoy's Club. Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you for coming.
Malkit, can you introduce yourself and tell something about your story, how you start in the property market?
Yeah, sure. Welcome guys, my name is Malkit Purewal. I'm one half of Savoy's Properties with my business partner Sanjay Kumar. We've actually been in property for 24 years now. I actually started back in December 2001 when I purchased my first property in auction, and then literally got the property bug. Within 12 months I had 3 properties and we've been building steadily since then.
Okay, and what is the scale of your business today? How many tenants you have?
So we have now over 700 tenants that we manage on behalf of ourselves and landlords.
So what type of property is that? What it was before you convert that?
So this used to be a former charity shop. It had some offices above and there used to be a 2-bedroom flat with it. So the idea for us is the building was not fit for purpose, so they had it up for rent, it wasn't renting. So we've come in here, we've basically introduced a smaller retail space, making it more appealing for like SME businesses, and then we're converting the uppers to a 6-bedroom ensuite HMO.
Yeah. What is the name of this town? How far is it from London?
So this is Chalfont St Peters. It's in Buckinghamshire. It's basically literally just on the borders of Greater London.
Is it a good area for the business you want to run here?
Yeah, so basically this is a former market town, the sort of medieval years, and it's actually quite a thriving little town.
Right, so we're going to see the next part of the building.
Follow us. Just this way. So this bit wasn't included with the land.
So where we are now?
So now we're at the rear of this commercial premises. So the uppers here was residential, the ground floor was part of the commercial. We rejigged it around to allow us to make 6 ensuite rooms and communal kitchen area. And so the main entrance for the HMO will be through this side entrance here.
Okay, so you can show us around.
Yeah,
have you have any issues with the planning or perhaps with the construction?
Planning is quite straightforward because it's permitted development.
Okay.
When it comes down to drainage and stuff like this, these are the challenging aspects that we need to meet.
Okay, so I can see this part is going to be first bedroom, is that right?
So this will be, ground floor bedroom here. So how we work it is all our rooms all have an ensuite. This is the last room that we're going to be working on. So we normally start top down.
Do you remember how many square meters it is?
This one is around about 8 square meters. So what we tend to do is put in like a small kitchen area. There's no cooking facilities.
Yeah.
You've got fitted wardrobes, which you'll see as we go through the rest of the building. And then we just decided in this particular bedroom to make it a little bit bigger for the shower room. Follow me up, we'll go
we can see rest of it. So this is bedroom probably 1.
Well, we'll say it's bedroom 1 because starting on the ground floor. As you see, like anything that's over 2 stories, we need to put in basically a fire alarm system. So these are for the fire escape signs. So typically with these are just units which have 30 minutes of light power when the mains fail. So you just have to ensure basically the passageway, 1 is clear and easy for the occupants to actually leave.
Escape.
So you come into this room, this is bedroom 2.
Before you start, I can see people using code. Why code's not the key?
So it's actually a funny story. So when we actually started our first HMO back in 2010, I ended up having a phone call at midnight, which I answered, and there was a tenant saying, look, I went to the pub, someone stole my bag, can you come and open the door? I said, well, I can't at this time, you're gonna have to be in the morning. And they came, opened the door up, and I just thought there must be a better way around this. Eventually we had a few more of these cases, and then the more HMOs that we had more keys. I thought I'd rather have a keyless business, and I looked at these punch codes, and we've been using them for 14-15 years, and it works quite well.
So this is like really decent size.
Yeah, this is a really good size double. We end up getting like a premium for a site like this, and especially the ones facing like the high street where you got some nice light. They tend to be one of the quicker ones that end up being rented.
Okay.
Just of what we tend to do in our HMOs. So you've got fitted wardrobes top to bottom. The reason we do these is tenants move them around. The furniture then sort of sways one way or another. We have to get rid of it. If we just have stuff that is all fitted, so wardrobes, kitchenettes, desks, then the only movable bit of furniture will be the bed.
So we can see quick with other rooms. Do you have like any issues? Like, cause I can see you probably strip everything to the brick.
When it comes down to these properties, 1, we want to keep them. This is bedroom 3, but we want to keep the properties and we want to make it hassle-free as possible. So we strip them back. All the rooms have individual fuse boxes in there. So if something trips,
this is good.
If something trips, it only trips in the room. Again, this is down to problems that we had. Some people will have a faulty toaster. They'll basically put it on and trip the whole lights. So if there's an issue, it just happens here.
So this is like also a shower room.
So you see basically we've left a part of the waste and stuff uncovered. The reason for this is once everything's in, the shower doors and everything in, we'll basically just run everything on the system and see whether there's any leaks.
And there's also another space over here. So
so
it's going to be like office.
So what we've done here is we've put in obviously the fitted wardrobe, a kitchenette, and then we put like a desk here, so someone could potentially just work from here. But again, the idea was just to utilize a little bit of an awkward space.
The guy from HMO license will turn up. Is he's gonna count this space under as a part of the room?
It all depends on the HMO officer that you have. Some say no, this isn't the case. Furniture does not distract the fact that it's
still
space.
part of the room. So we can see the rest of it. So basically I can see the kitchen. How big is it now?
Each council depends, and they have certain requirements. So within this council, it's called Rule of 5. So per every 1 to 5 tenants, you need 1 set of cooking facilities and stuff within the room. Obviously we've got 6, so technically it's 2 times that. So we need 2 sinks, 2 ovens.
And what about space? Because for example, in Manchester, they can ask you in the 6-bedroom HMO house for the kitchen, dining, living, 22 square meters. And what about here?
So it is literally just the appliances, but if you're going to be operating a HMO, you need to see what the local policy is.
This is extremely important because I know so many people who are just going for national requirements and then their council can ask for something totally different. And this is like a huge mistake. So guys, you always need to check your local council and their requirements. And so we got another bedroom.
Sorry to interrupt, but if you are interested in property market, there are 3 ways how I can help you. If you would like to build your own property portfolio, but you don't have time and don't want to take that stress on your back, then all of my companies can help you with sourcing the property which will be below market value. Project management will handle renovation and they will supply you with all required certificates. And after that, you can also use the letting agency which will find you the right tenant. Plus, we have also the accountants company, mortgage advisor company. So everything is under one umbrella. Next one is joint ventures. If you would like to be part of bigger project, we can set up together an LTD company. We split the profit between us. So you are the passive investor and all the hassle is on me. And lastly, because all of those companies are constantly growing, we are hiring. We're always looking for talent. Project managers, letting agents, brokers, social media experts, video editors, and property sources. So if you already have experience, don't hesitate, send us your CV. You will find more information in the description. Thank you for your attention. Let's get back to the video.
So this used to be the only entrance in to the flat.
Okay.
Yeah, to the first floor part of this, and this used to be a kitchen. So it's not ideal to have the only escape route through a kitchen. So when we repurposed this, we thought it was best to actually change this to being an ensuite.
So what is it, like last rooms upstairs, yeah? Okay, so 2 last bedrooms, yeah, really nice. I think they're one of the best ones.
Yeah, so these are the bigger ones. So this is in the loft space, and what you tend to find is the ones in the loft that tend to be the biggest tend to be some of the rooms that go the quickest. So something like this is around 10 meters squared, excluding the bathroom.
Yeah, good view, nice view, trees just behind the window, and yeah, so you can look at the nature. So yeah, we have 6 rooms, so we can get to the numbers. What was the purchase price of entire building?
So this was purchased £465,000.
Right, and how much you think you're gonna spend on renovation?
So the renovation cost for the retail unit and the uppers is £150,000.
Okay. Which is not bad, to be honest. And per calendar month, you think how much you can get
so
per room?
on average, these rooms will rent for £850 per calendar month, which is £61,200.
Plus the shop around £16,000. So per annum, the whole unit will give you 77,200.
That's right.
And so after remortgage, you will get around 260,000. So if we deduct from that cost, in this property, you will still have £24,000, which you need to get back. But with the profit from rent, after deducting all the costs, that will be £23,400 per annum. So literally, after a year, you will get all your money back, and still you own the property, which will be worth, like today, 855,000. And all of us know that every 10 years, the property price double. So rent double like every 20 years.
That's right.
Something like that. But in long term, your portfolio is getting only better. So not many places, not many businesses work in the same way. Most of the businesses have life like 10 years, and after like maybe in 10 years time, 1 will survive, 9 will go bankrupt or will be closed or will be sold. So there's not many businesses you can compare to rental market in the UK, which will be like so safe and working like in long term. So do you have any special challenges with this project, or everything went smooth?
When we do building regs, it is constantly changing. So we just have to ensure that the people that we use produce the right plans and they meet building control. You just have to also work with like the local fire brigade, because in some cases we've had to put in like a mist system or a sprinkler system. So, and these could be potentially hidden costs. But the most challenges is normally drainage, wastage, ensuring that you can't stop, we don't end up with so many leaks and stuff. So you want to ensure you have those circumstances mitigated and reduce those down. But in our 15th year of doing these style projects, so we're quite comfortable with it.
And we didn't mention anything about managing costs. Who will look after this property?
So we actually have our own in-house management company. Typically, if you're doing a HMO, you would pay somewhere up to potentially 20% plus VAT. But as we have our own management company, so we absorb these costs in-house.
Yeah, I think every bigger landlord is doing exactly the same. They open their own letting agency. I have my own letting agency, my own stuff. And extremely important thing, I think many people, they don't know, because no one talks about that, how hard is to find people who will do the right job for the money they're getting paid. You're doing that 20 years. Do you have like some crazy stories with the builders?
We've had situations where builders haven't done work to building regs, finished a building so poorly that it's leaking. But these were issues that we had early on. Once we find decent contractors, I try to keep them and constantly give them work.
Yeah.
It is a very difficult thing, and I see on like social media groups and stuff, people having issues with contractors all the time.
Basically check them, don't have 100% trust in them, just stay safe. Is there like any books you would like to, audiobooks, which you would like to recommend for the viewers?
Well, if it's something to do with HMO, Nick Fox has done something on HMO. I think it's just called the Ultimate HMO Guide. A lot of this property stuff is also mindset, in my opinion. So I actually quite like the book Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter by Curtis 50 Cent Jackson. Actually really helped me focus on what values that I should be looking at and how I should be streamlining my business. And there's obviously with Darwood's YouTube channel, there's lots of free resources that are out there that can actually help you in your property journey.
Yeah, and if you are around London, you always can join to your meetings because you run your own club, Savoy's Club, where there's like plenty of entrepreneurs and you can learn from people who have a lot of experience already in that business. And when did you start, like how does your family and friends react to what you was doing?
When I started, I was actually early 20s or sort of 22, 23. At that time, like my parents were actually wondering, do you know what you're actually doing? Because property, there's a huge commitment to it, and I was quite determined. I didn't know really too much about it to learn on the spot. We're normally at that point friends. They're more concerned in their early 20s with going out, partying, girls. So they were like a bit taken back by it. But now looking back and reflecting, it's probably the best thing that I ever did was taking that leap of faith and doing all this work. I think that's now sort of paid itself back, and it's fortunate for us, we're in a position that we can help other people as well.
And then what are your future plans?
So future plans, we're continuing with what we're doing. We're pushing with all the Savoy stuff that we have. So
you're not bored yet?
No, I think
literally today you can just live from your cash flow and do nothing. But for some reason, people who are entrepreneurs, they still run something.
Yeah, I think when it comes to property, it's something where one day you'll hate it, one day you'll love it. So if you're used to doing this property development, you're used to speaking to builders, planning, having challenges, it's actually something that you actually enjoy.
So if you like to know Malkit in person, you can always find his events, Savoy's Club.
Yeah.
And if you like to know something about what we are doing, you will find link below to our website, Dovbush Group, where I got few companies which can help you with different kind of services. I also provide services with over 400 investors where we searching for properties. That's my deal sourcing company. We renovate them, and also we do letting and even accountancy. You will find the link below. So thank you very much for your time, guys. Thank you very much for your invitation,
thank you.
and we wish you all the best. Take care.